Last year we made our first deep run into the NCAA tournament. We did everything we could. We had a few game winners along the way, but inevitably the Duke Blue Devils broke our heart like they usually do, and we ended up losing the Elite Eight. We head into the 5th year of this dynasty with the best team that we have had to date. We have a team that is led by all juniors and all seniors in the starting lineup. On top of that, we have one of the best players in the country in Malcolm Norton. As we look at the lineup, we have the exact same team as last year. The only difference, Tyson Manning will be the starting point guard this year, as that 89 3-point rating is something I just can't pass up. We have a very tough schedule this year as we're playing in the Maui Invitational. On top of that, some tough other non-conference opponents. Other than that, the number 11 Boston College Eagles are ready to get the season underway, and we would start off with a bang. Getting some blowout wins here to start the season very easily. We would start off to a quick 3-0, 4-0. Why not? Make it as easy as possible as we head into number 3 Kentucky in the Maui Invitational. This Kentucky team is extremely talented. They are led by Julius Randle and Nerlens Noel, two big guys down low that can cause us a lot of problems, and defensively their guards locked us up. I'm not going to lie. In this one, they had some crisp ball movement as well. This Kentucky team is a real problem. They're the number 3 team in the country for a reason, and we really felt their pressure. We couldn't do much, and we ended up losing this one 81-73 as we'd fall in the first round of the Maui Invitational. We got Memphis Tigers in the second one. Buchanan here with a couple free throws. He would hit the first, miss the second, but we'd still be up 5, under 10 seconds to go. We wouldn't be worried. We would close this one out, and we would get the win very easily here. So we get a second round win. We bounce back very well after a loss to Kentucky. And then we face a team in UNLV where we should have blown them out. And guess what? They ended up storming right back. We had a nice lead, but they would end up closing that gap very quickly. However, Malcolm Norton's at the free throw line. He knows how to close out a game, and he would do exactly that. We would win again. All of a sudden, we actually looked really good coming out of that. However, Tyson Manning would end up dislocating his shoulder, and he'd be out until March 5th. So he's out for the entire regular season. He would be back if we make the NCAA tournament. Speaking of, we are facing a team that we could potentially face in Ohio State, the number 13 team in the country. We had a nice lead against them, but that we quickly blew. It was down to a 3-point game with 16 seconds to go. Quasi Winston, who has reclaimed his starting role due to the injury of Tyson Manning. However, this time, a chance for 3 would be blocked. An amazing block by Callaway. They'd get it back, another chance. It wouldn't go. And we'd be heading back to the free throw line. This time it's Shepard at the line. At Ohio State, the crowd is too loud. He couldn't get it. This time, a tip, but they have a wide open look. And it wouldn't go. A lot of chances for them. They couldn't execute. And we are 8-1, the number 5 team in the country. We would follow that up with a nice win over Kansas State. A couple cupcakes here and there. And we would get some big wins to continue this winning streak to 11-1. We are the number 6 team in the country. And we deserve to be. We've played very well. And now we have the number 2 Indiana Hoosiers. This is a team with Victor Oladipo, Yogi Ferrell, Cody Zeller. And we are in our place, so luckily we have the home field advantage. It was a 5-point game, but they would storm their way back, as every team does against us. In a 2-point game, we would answer right back. It's back up to 5. Then it was Shepard in transition. He would bang home a 3, and we would execute and close out this game with ease. We would beat the number 2 team in the country, and guess what? We'd win again. And then on top of that, we played Virginia Tech. We are now 14-1, the number 3 team in the country. Same as last year, Devon Shepard is leading us scoring-wise through non-conference play. And then we got Callaway averaging nice casual 16 and 17. Of course, Malcolm Norton's just waiting until tournament time. We're ready to head in and take this on. We have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, the number 23 team in the country, a team that we've usually struggled with. We had a 1-point lead in this one, however, a nice crossover. They would get to the rim and finish. And then our go-to guy down the stretch, Malcolm Norton, would get blocked. Bob Woodson is the man on the spot. Catches the ball, fires it in with 4.2 seconds left. 1-point game. Wake Forest still has a chance here, though. A half-court heave would not go, and we would prevail ever so barely. Boston College wins again. We would then face the number 12 Clemson Tigers in our next matchup. We were down by 2, but Malcolm Norton decides, hey, I'll take the lead for us. 1:40 to go. Norton again for 3. He would get it. We had a 4-point lead. They would climb their way back to cut it to 2. Under a minute to go. It's Callaway backing down. He would go. The little baby hook with the left hand would go. And then the other way. Clemson Can they answer? They will. It's a 2-point game with Quasi Winston at the line. He missed a few free throws earlier to close the game. This time he hits both, and we would end up beating this Clemson team after they couldn't hit a big-time shot, and we would win once again. The #1 team in the country, the Boston College Golden Eagles, are 16-1. We are looking exactly like we thought we would coming into this season. We would then blow out Georgia Tech and then face Clemson again. However, it'd be a bit of a different story this time around. We were down by 2. This time, a step back 3 from Norton. He gets it, a ridiculous 3. All of a sudden, we're tied. 59-59, they answer. We're down by 2 again. We're going to swing it to Norton. Let him make a play. Goes down low to Callaway, but he misses a layup. Missed the layup, and we would send him to the free throw line. Can we get them to just miss 1? Making the first, making the second. 4-point game, 7 seconds. Wide open shot for Winston, and he'd get it. We just need a free throw to miss. Can they miss 1? No, they cannot. We would end up losing for the second time this season, going into Clemson, a place where we have not won much in this dynasty, if ever. We would then follow that up with a nice win over Maryland and a nice win over Florida State as well, and then blowing out Miami on top of that. We are now 7-1 in conference play, 20-2 overall. That is still the #4 team in the country. We are still coasting very well through this regular season, but now we have the North Carolina Tar Heels, a team that has given us a lot of troubles and a team that we tend to play very, very tough. North Carolina came into this game with a purpose, and they wanted to beat the #3 team in the country in their place, and they did exactly that. However, we did end up getting a nice win over Florida State and then beating Maryland right after that, on top of beating NC State. And then we had the #21 Duke Blue Devils. This team now adds Jabari Parker on top of Kyrie Irving and Quinn Cook. This team has already been a big problem for us. And guess what? This Duke team continued to be a problem for us. They came out and just absolutely obliterated us in our place. We tried our best to fight back, but they just hit every single shot. We couldn't do anything defensively, offensively. They were just simply better on every single facet of the floor. I mean, they are A+ overall across the board. We lose by 15 to Duke, and then we had to go into Virginia, where Austin Rivers, he actually transferred to Virginia. So now he's there alongside Malcolm Brogdon. We went into their place. We ended up cutting it to a 1-point game. They would answer right back with the 3 of their own. All of a sudden it was 4. With 2 minutes to go, Brogdon hits a tough shot here. This time Norton swinging it. It's Shepard for 3. He would get it to go. We're still within 3 of this one, but a nice move down low. Offensive board. Blocked this time, but they'd get it right back again and fire it in. Still a 5-point game. We're not out of this yet. Swinging it. This time Shepard with a little bit of space. He'd get it to go. All of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Malcolm Brogdon with it. Fadeaway 3. He would nail it. All of a sudden they're up 5. Shepard this time couldn't get the 3 to go, but we got Callaway down low, missing the first, making the second. And then the other way they would go and answer right back again. We would get the steal here with just a few seconds left. However, unfortunately, after this shot, we did not have enough time to foul. We couldn't get the quota, hit that 7 foul mark, and we would end up losing by 3 to them. Now we are now only in 3rd place. We are 23-5, because guess what? North Carolina and Duke are pretty good. But it's all good, because we ended up closing out pretty strong here down the stretch, winning some big games. 25-5 is how we'd end the regular season. We would end up getting the #2 seed in the ACC tournament, where we'd face the winner of Georgia Tech and Florida State, which of course would be Georgia Tech. The higher seeds always win. Georgia Tech would be no problem for us. We would coast to a nice, easy win. And then we would move on to the semifinal of the ACC tournament, where we would face, of course, the Duke Blue Devils, a team that we have still yet to beat in our 5 years here at Boston College. As they typically do, Duke would get off to a nice start, getting up 4-0 here, but we would answer right back. Shepard was hitting some nice shots from deep. It was 10-7, and guess what? Shepard answered right back again. We had a nice 4-point lead. This time Winston double-teamed to their side. If you're going to double him, that leaves Norton wide open. That's a bad idea. All of a sudden, we're up by 9. However, they would storm their way back as they usually do. The Duke Blue Devils would cut it to 3, and then we'd hit the half. Up, still 20-17. And in fact, we played horrible in that first half. We only shot 27% from the field, yet our defense was playing extremely well. This time, we came out in the offensive in this second half. We got up to a quick 9-point lead, Every single chance they got to score, it was a tough bucket. For us, it was easy. Shepard this time, a wide open three. He would get it to go. Going the other way, Kyrie Irving couldn't get the bucket. And then on defense, Callaway with the block this time. Going down low, it's Bob Woodson. He'll take the double team, no problem. We're up 13, blowing them out with no problem. But we have had a problem of blowing leads here this season. But Shepard would go, nice little floater off glass that time, then Callaway down low, he would take care of business. All of a sudden we're up by 15, why not make it 17? We would extend this lead. They couldn't do anything on offense, our defense absolutely suffocated them, and we have done it, beaten the Duke Blue Devils. It took the ACC tournament semifinal to do it, but we are now moving on to the championship, and we have beaten our White Whale. I'm very happy to not have to worry about that anymore going forward, and now we get the Maryland Terrapins. With the chance for us to win our very first ACC tournament championship, they're led by Jake Lehman down low, their only NBA player. So we got to finish this one out. This game was back and forth to start here. Malcolm Norton hit a deep three. Luckily, we have Shepard and Norton whenever we need a bucket. And then defensively, we made some good plays, but they seemed to have the ball bounce their way every single chance they got. 10-9 here. Instead of kicking it out, why not leave Shepard wide open? That seems like a bad idea on their part. Going down low, they would answer right back every single time. Very, very back and forth game. Manning finding Shepard again wide open on the corner. He would bang it home. We had a 6-point lead going into the half, but they would again close the gap. Why not extend it again here at the end of the half? Tyson Manning is finally back and playing again. We're lucky to have him as we have a 6-point lead. We played really, really well in that first half, yet they just had a few execution on turnovers from our part, and they couldn't do anything in the second half. We ended up coming out firing, playing like the Boston College team that's played like one of the best teams in the country. Not only are we fighting for an ACC tournament championship, we are fighting for a #1 overall seed possibly. But we got to start by closing them out. Malcolm Norton trying to do it here, driving the lane. But again, Jake Lehman this time, he would answer with a shot. It's only a 9-point game with 1:30 to go. A nice drive here. They've cut it to 7. Double team this time, swing it. This time finding Norton wide open from deep three. He would nail it. They would be forced to foul. We have Malcolm Norton at the free throw line to ice this game, and he would miss it. So they still have a chance here. Going the other way, Maryland getting a nice look here from 3, wide open, and it would go. All of a sudden it's a 5-point game with 11 seconds left. Tyson Manning is back, but this time he's going to ice this game from the free throw line, and we have done it. We are the ACC tournament champion. We have officially punched our bid, not like we were worried about making the NCAA tournament, but for the first time in this dynasty, we are the ACC champion. We came into this season with high expectations, and we have exceeded them beyond. Not only are we in the NCAA tournament, but we have done it. We are a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. 28-5 to finish the season. We got the #1 seed. We got the East region here, as you can see some of the teams, a few that we've played in Ohio State. For reference, Maryland and Duke also in our side of the bracket. You can take a look at the other regions. We have a very, very tough go of it, just as we did last year. Our region is always going to be super tough. But the only thing stopping us from making the NCAA tournament is ourselves. We have seen this season that we can beat any team in the country, maybe other than Kentucky. But other than that, we have played really, really well, and we have executed at a very high level. There's a reason we're 28-5. We also have a very, very old roster that really helps come tournament time. So hopefully we can just take care of UC Davis. We don't want any Fairleigh Dickinson. No UMBC action here today. So going into this game, UC Davis wanted to do exactly that. They came out firing in this one, and defensively, we could not stop them. They were hitting shot after shot. They were getting down low, good passes. It was 17-13 here to start early in the first half. Malcolm Norton had to hit a few shots for us to come back in this one to retake the lead. This time is Tyson Manning doing exactly that. We had a nice 3-point lead, this time finding Manning on the side. It's really nice to have him back. His offensive ability is really great at the point guard position. We would head into the half up by 4, but only 4. We were shooting about the same. It was pretty even going into the second half. Then in the second half, we decided to play like the team that we were destined to be. This time it was Norton going down low. They would go and execute on a tough shot here and won. It was all of a sudden tied. They actually had a 1-point lead. But Norton, he's going to go find a little space in the mid-range and nail it. And then in a 5-point game, Shepard would pull up from deep. He would hit a bomb that time. All of a sudden, we're up double digits again, finding Bill Moorhead here in transition. Double teamed, that's not going to work because Tyson Manning is wide open. We would continue to execute here down the stretch. Shepard officially putting them in the coffin, and we would end up closing this game out with a nice victory over UC Davis. It was a little bit of a sweat there in the first half and early in the second, but in the end, we prevailed just as we expected against a 16 seed. Really good overall game. Tyson Manning with 28 leading the way. We move on to the second round of the NCAA tournament, where we have the number 8 overall seed. It's Maryland, the team we just faced in the ACC Tournament Championship. We just proved that we can handle them then. Let's see if we can handle them again. It's going to be another tough matchup. It's always hard to beat teams multiple times throughout the season. As we already have, we can do it again. Coming into this game, we just have to do exactly what we did in the last one. We have to suffocate them on defense, we have to get some rebounds, and we have to execute from the outside. However, in this game, we would be doing none of that besides executing from the outside. This time, Norton off a nice play, and then Tyson Manning making his own play, stepping back from 3. 18-18 game. They continue to fight on the offensive glass. It felt like we couldn't get a rebound in this first half. It was tied at 24, but we continue to execute offensively. Luckily, we have some star players to do so, but they would match us at every single turn. In fact, they would end up taking a decent little lead here. 36-31, 36-33 is what we would head into the half with. This team looks a lot different than the team we just played last week in the ACC Championship. They were grabbing every single rebound they wanted. 19-9 difference in that category. We got to grab some boards if we want to come back in this one. And we also got to play like we have this entire season, executing well in the second half. We would do that, we would quickly tie the game, but they would answer back with a dunk of their own. Again, extending their lead. We had no answer for them. They could do anything they wanted on offense. They were getting to the hole. Jake Lehman pulled from transition 3. All of a sudden, we are on full upset alert, down by 10. 4 minutes to go in this game. Malcolm Norton would answer back with a 3. Still a 7-point game. Find Shepard. He's got some space. No, but we got LeVar Callaway down low to clean it up. Now we need to get some stops. This time going down low, a little hop step, tough layup, and they would get it to go. Then we'd go down low to Moorhead. He gets doubled. Callaway's wide open. He'll hit that jumper every time. 5-point game. Lehman this time again answers. Still a 7-point game with 2 minutes to go. Norton, he's going to go. Gets blocked, but Callaway's right there to answer again. We have the ball back again with 1:30. Tyson Manning a deep 3. No, it wouldn't go. We needed that one. We need one stop here with 1:30 left, and we get it. We have a chance here. We just have to execute. 1:20 to go in this game. Shepard a deep 3. It would go. We're now cut it to 2. Going down low, they would again get a good look, but it's blocked. Malcolm Norton with a big defensive play. This time, Moorhead. We're tied at 64. We have stormed all the way back in the final few minutes here. 48 seconds. They get a good look. It wouldn't go. Rebound. We now have a chance. It's Malcolm Norton trying to go 2 for 1. Quick 3. It wouldn't go. But Moorhead throws it in. Caught by Callaway. We have a chance to reset. So you know what that means. Malcolm Norton did this in the tournament last year against Michigan State. Can he do it again? This time gets swatted. But then it's Moorhead. Fade away. Wouldn't go. 3 seconds left. They still have a chance here. They have a chance to set up a play with 3 seconds. They're going to go. It's a half-court heave. No, it would not go. We are going to overtime. A big-time comeback with just a few minutes left. And now we have 5 more minutes to try to move on in this tournament. They would start by doing what they do best, beating us down low. They would go then try to do it again. But this time the fadeaway, that would go as well. We were down by 5 very quickly. So guess what? We're going to go to Bob Woodson down low. He'll get the bucket. Still a 3-point game. This time it's tipped away. Manning. He gets it into his hands, pushing the other way, the speedy guard, steps it back, all the space in the world, and it goes! We're tied at 70 once again. 3 minutes to go in this one. Lehman, this time he's swatted by Woodson, throws it in, into the hands of Norton. Norton would be able to push in transition, we'd set up a play. This time it's Tyson Manning. He would hit a 3. We now have a 3-point lead, 8-0 run for Boston College. 2 minutes to go in this one, and again the defense steps up, tips that one away. This time swinging it again, Malcolm Norton, he hits another. We're up by 6, 76-70. They still have a chance. This time a tough shot and 1. So with 1:17 left, they would execute. Still a 3-point game. But they would leave Manning wide open again, and he'd hit again. Tyson Manning has been huge in this NCAA tournament. This time the drive, they wouldn't get it, missing the layup. With 6 minutes to go, they would be forced to foul. 13 seconds left. Malcolm Norton at the free throw line. Can he execute? He can get the first. Can he get the second? He can. 8-point lead would lead to a big-time overtime victory for Boston College, and the #1 seed survives. Ever so barely, that's the name of the game in this tournament, survive and advance, and we did exactly that. 2 comebacks we had to do, a 10-point comeback and a 5-point comeback in overtime. Unbelievable. But we can't be too excited because now we have Duke once again in the NCAA tournament, a team that took us out last year. They were the one team that we couldn't get over the hump all season last year. We got over the hump this year by beating them in the AC tournament, but come the NCAA tournament, they are a different beast. This team has talent all across the board, and they're going to want their revenge on us. So we got to come out and execute big time in this game. We know we're not going to stop them, so we got to score at every chance we get. The goal of this game was to fire up as many shots as possible, and we came out and did that very well here in the first half. We were firing up shot after shot, getting a few boards. Tyson Manning, he'll drive, he'll kick, Shepard wide open for 3. We ended up extending this lead out to a 10-point lead, very quickly 14-4. But this is Duke we're talking about. They're going to execute and come back just as they do every single time. They would storm back to cut it. It was still a 6-point lead. Norton this time hitting a nice 3 from the outside. And we were able to continue and extend this lead at every chance we got. But of course, every chance they got, they would come right back down. Kyrie going off glass this time. And then going down low, they're going to cut it to a 1-possession game. But of course, we extend another lead. We go up by 9 again. But guess what? We're going to blow that lead too because Kyrie's going to hit a step-back 3 here with a double team. And then it's going to be Quinn Cook driving the lane to tie this game. 33-33. They would, in fact, take the lead. Quickly, it was 35-33, but we would execute with a nice 3 here, and at the end of the half, Norton would hit a nice little Euro step, get that one in there, 38-35 to hit the half. We played about as well as we could in that first half. We shot 41% from the field. Defense was everywhere. Offensively, we just outscored them. That was the name of the game. We got to do it again in the second half here. Coming out, firing up shots. We got Callaway down low on the boards to get us a nice one. We would extend a nice 8-point lead to SWAT here. We would go the other way. We would make it double digits again thanks to Tyson Manning. 47-37. Let's go down low to Callaway and extend the lead again. Kyrie's trying to fight to keep Duke in this one, but our offense started to really click here in the second half. We're up by 13. In transition, Moorhead slamming it down. We're up by 15. Now it's Norton. He's going to drive. He'll slam it down again. 18-point lead. This time, the kick. Norton. We're up by 21. We are officially blowing out this Duke team. But this is Duke we're talking about, and we've had a few instances this season where we've blown some leads. They would come back. Kyrie this time hitting the 3. It's a 13-point game. There's still a minute 15 to go. Another 3 would go. It's a 10-point game. Tyson Manning at the free throw line. He couldn't hit the free throw. The other way, Rodney Hood from 3. He would get it. It's a 7-point game. We have blown a 21-point lead. We just need some free throws to ice this game out. Tyson Manning would do that. Still a 9-point game though. They still have a chance. Hood wouldn't go. Rebound. We would go, get the foul, and we would win this game. We are moving on to the Elite 8. We have beat Duke in the NCAA tournament. Everything comes full circle. We get our revenge from last year, and now we have a real shot to get to the Final Four here as long as we take out our next opponent, because Duke was the team I was most worried about in our side of the bracket. We had a game plan in mind. It was come out and score the ball, and that's exactly what we did in this one. We absolutely executed perfectly. We even got out-rebounded. They shot better from 3, but guess what? We ended up playing just a bit better. We now move on to the Elite 8, where we are going to be facing the Syracuse Orange. They went 30-5 this season. They were on par with us, no doubt, but this team is on a roll, and we're ready to keep it going. 3 tickets have already been punched to the Final Four. 1 remains. It's either Boston College or Syracuse. This Syracuse team, they got Tyler Ennis, Michael Carter-Williams, Fab Mello, Jeremy Grant, Rakeem Christmas. A lot of familiar names in college basketball and a very talented team. But we got one as well. So we're going to get right into this. We're going to go and just try to score. Same thing as before. We can't play that much defense in this tournament, we've noticed, but we can score with the best of them. They came out firing in this one. Defensively, they were tough. They would go the other way, slam this one in transition. It was very quickly all Syracuse to start this game. We kind of got shell-shocked, but we had to come back and answer. And that time, Malcolm Norton would do exactly that. They would go the other way. This time, the swing. Tyler Ennis for 3. He would get it with a man in his face. Still a 9-point game. We're not anywhere out of this. Malcolm Norton, he's going to bang that one. 6-point game. Ennis again from 3 this time. Norton trying to answer. Not quite. Moorhead is there to put it up and in. We cut it down to a little bit under 5, and then all of a sudden they went on another run. It was quickly an 8-point game as we hit the half. They were an offensive juggernaut. 43 points in the first half. We couldn't stop them. On top of that, they've nearly doubled us in rebounds. So we got to come out hot here in the second half, as we have in this entire tournament, and we did exactly that. Getting turnovers, getting threes, doing everything that we typically do. We got this one to Norton, and we retook the lead very quickly. It was 44-43. But then things quickly changed. Syracuse came out firing. They couldn't miss. It was Christmas this time on the jump shot. We came and tried to execute every time we could. Shepard would get that one to go. But Tyler Ennis is an absolute monster. We were just trying to hang in there at this point. Still a 3-point game. We were just trying to answer every single time they do. But they were going down 3 after 3, bucket after bucket. This time the double, leaving Ennis wide open, is a bad idea. And very quickly, Syracuse has snowballed this lead into a 20-point lead. We just completely fell down here down the stretch. And it was quickly 15 trying to make the comeback. But they would bang some free throws. And just like that, we are out of the NCAA tournament, and we are not making it to the Final Four at the hands of Syracuse. This team was extremely good. They were extremely talented. They are the best offensive team that I have faced in this entire dynasty to date, without a doubt. That Duke team last year was pretty good, but this team was next level, and unfortunately it just wasn't our day. We couldn't hit shots when we needed to, and we just couldn't score 87 points. I mean, in this game, that's hard to do, and frankly, they were really, really good. It's sad how abrupt that just ends. All of a sudden, you're out and it's over. And this amazing season comes down to just a few plays. But Arizona would go on to win the national championship, led by Aaron Gordon, TJ McConnell, Caleb Tarzewski. And this Boston College team that was completely revived by one player, and it was Malcolm Norton. And his career has unfortunately come to an end here at Boston College. His senior year, he came in as a freshman. We got left on the bubble. Since then, we went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments. We made 2 Elite Eights, and it was the best run we've ever had. And on top of that, while it is sad that he is leaving, it's not going to be all bad because the rest of the team is returning. Nobody ended up going pro, luckily. So the rest of our stars are returning. Bill Moorhead is also graduating. However, we do have another power forward. We've seen him a few times in Buchanan as well as Bob Woodson. We've seen them a couple times throughout this dynasty, so they'll fill that role very well. And then if we look, this Duke team is finally done. Kyrie Irving, Quinn Cook, Jabari Parker, they're all gone. However, of course, as Duke does, they reload very well. Andrew Wiggins going pro, and this Syracuse team that beat us pretty bad, also losing the majority of their team. But next season, we did end up getting the #1 recruit in the country. That means, while one player is going in Malcolm Norton, the #1 player in the country is going to fill his void. And I'm really hoping he can do very, very well. I mean, we're going to throw him in there. Buchanan's also going to be starting at that power forward. So that's the really only change that we have. And on top of that, our bench got a lot better, so we have a lot more depth. Taking a look at our schedule, we're in the Maui Invitational once again. We also play a non-conference game against Kansas, so that'll be exciting next season. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like if you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.